Welcome to Silent Secrets. In today's video, we're diving into one of the most misunderstood truths about attraction. And let me tell you right now, it's not about six-pack abs, flashy cars, or rehearsed pickup lines. No. The real secret, the one almost no one teaches men, is boundaries. Yes, clear, unapologetic, deeply grounded masculine boundaries. Most men spend their entire lives believing that boundaries turn women off, that if they say no, if they don't always bend over backwards, they'll lose her interest. But here's the reality. Boundaries don't push women away. They pull them closer. Not because you're being controlling, not because you're playing some manipulative alpha role, but because boundaries are a reflection of something far more powerful: self-respect. When you embody that level of clarity, when you know exactly who you are, what you stand for, and what you won't tolerate, you radiate something magnetic. Women feel it, even if they can't explain it. It's not about force, it's about presence. And presence is irresistible. So in this video, I'm going to break down 8 powerful boundaries that don't just protect your frame. They ignite subconscious attraction in women. These aren't games. They aren't tricks. They are clarity codes. And if you integrate them into your life, they won't just change how women see you. They'll change how you see yourself. Stick around especially for the last boundary, because it doesn't just shift her perception of you. It redefines how she experiences herself when she's with you. That's how deep this goes. Let's begin. The unavailable advantage: guarding your time. Your time is your most valuable resource. It's the one thing you can never get back, and when you protect it, you communicate something most men never dare to. I am already complete without you. Now let's be real. This is terrifying at first. The moment you stop replying to every text within seconds, the moment you stop dropping everything whenever she calls, your mind will panic. It whispers, "Won't she lose interest? Won't she think I don't care? Won't she find someone else who gives her more attention?" But here's the paradox. The exact opposite happens. Because constant availability communicates one thing: I have nothing else going on. And nothing kills attraction faster than a man who signals that his entire world revolves around her. When you prioritize your time, when you make it clear that your life is already full of purpose, movement, and direction, you send a silent message: I am valuable. My world is already in motion. If you step into it, you're stepping into momentum, not desperation. This doesn't mean ignoring her. It doesn't mean playing games. It means living a life so full of mission that she has to earn her space within it. And that subtle sense of scarcity, that awareness that you're not always instantly available, it creates a magnetic pull. Ask yourself, how many times have you overextended yourself just to keep a woman interested, only to watch her slowly drift away? If that's ever happened, drop the word guilty in the comments, because this single shift can flip your entire dating dynamic. The no apology rule. Saying no. Without guilt, one of the most powerful sentences a man can master is no, and yet most men sabotage themselves in the way they deliver it. Imagine this. She invites you to an event you're not interested in, or she asks for your time when you're already committed to something else. Deep down, you want to say no, but instead, you apologize endlessly. I'm so sorry. I already have something. Maybe I can move it around. I'll try. I promise. What you've just done is weaken your boundary. You didn't just say no. You patted it, softened it, and apologized for existing. And on a subconscious level, she feels it. Now compare that to this. I won't be able to make it, but I hope it's great. Let's catch up later this week. Polite, clear, confident. The difference isn't in the words, it's in the energy. One man communicates guilt, the other communicates self-trust. And that kind of calm decisiveness, it's rare, it's magnetic. Remember, Boundaries are not just about protecting your time. They are about revealing who you are. And when you can say no without over-explaining, you show her that you value your life enough not to dilute it. If you've ever over-apologized just to keep the peace, you already know how draining it feels. From today forward, commit to the no apology rule. Because a man who can decline with grace is infinitely more attractive than the man who says yes out of fear. The respect reflex. Calling out, subtle. Disrespect isn't always loud. It's often quiet, hidden in micro moments. The eye roll when you speak. The sarcastic jab about your work. The dismissive laugh when you share something important. Most men brush it off. They tell themselves, she's just joking. They let it slide. But here's the truth. Ignoring disrespect doesn't make you chill. It makes you invisible. Because whether she realizes it consciously or not, every small moment of disrespect that you allow teaches her something. This man doesn't value himself enough to stand up for himself. And once that lesson sinks in, respect evaporates. But when you calmly call it out, without anger, without drama, just simple, grounded truth, you shift the entire dynamic. You look her in the eye and say, "Hey, I don't let people talk to me like that." That's it. No lecture, no fight, just presence. That one line does more for attraction than 1,000 compliments. Why? Because it shows her you have standards. It shows her you're not afraid of losing her approval. And that is where real polarity begins. And here's the paradox. The moment she sees you respect yourself enough to stand tall, she doesn't pull away. She leans in. Because deep down, every feminine woman longs to feel safe with a man who refuses to compromise his integrity. If you've ever let something slide and then felt uneasy afterward, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Drop the word frame in the comments if that resonates, because this boundary alone can transform the way she experiences you. The calm test. Lead. Instead of react, every woman, whether she admits it or not, will test your emotional center. Not because she's cruel, but because it's in her nature to feel out your strength. Here's how it usually happens. She makes a playful tease. She says something bold, maybe even sarcastic. She pushes a little, just to see what happens. And most men? They fail instantly. They snap back defensively, over-explain themselves, or shut down. What does that signal? Fragility. Insecurity. A man who doesn't know who he is. But the man who passes the test, the man who smiles, pauses, and maybe even teases back lightly, he communicates something entirely different. He's unshakable. He's not rattled by small challenges. He doesn't crumble under pressure. This doesn't mean being cold. It means being centered. Stoic philosophers like Marcus Aurelius taught that we cannot control what others say or do, but we can always control our response. And that principle is magnetic in relationships. Because when she realizes she cannot throw you off your balance, she relaxes into her femininity. She trusts your stability. And suddenly, instead of testing you, she starts admiring you. Most men spend their lives trying to pass women's tests. But the man who calmly rewrites the test as it happens, that's the man she remembers. The authority of silence. Decide without explaining. Here's a habit that destroys masculine presence. Over-explaining. How many times have you written a long, apologetic text just to soften a no? How many times have you justified your choices with 10 layers of reasoning just to avoid disappointing someone? Every time you do this, you weaken your frame. Because over-explaining isn't clarity. It's seeking permission. Let's compare two examples. Weak version. I won't be able to make it tonight. I've had such a long week. Work has been overwhelming, and honestly, I think I just need to rest. I hope that's okay. Sorry again. Strong version. Can't make it tonight. Let's catch up later this week. See the difference? One is bloated with insecurity. The other is lean with certainty. Confidence doesn't ramble. It doesn't pad the truth with emotional airbags. It speaks clearly, then rests in silence. So here's the rule. Say less, mean more. Because silence, when paired with certainty, holds incredible weight. And when a woman feels that your words are rooted in self-trust, she doesn't just listen, she respects. The mission first code. She joins your journey, she doesn't become it. This one is critical. It separates the men who are merely liked from the men who are unforgettable. Most men, even ambitious ones, lose themselves the moment they meet a woman they care about. They abandon their mission. They rearrange their goals. They shift their priorities entirely around her. At first, she may enjoy the attention, but very quickly, something changes. She starts to feel like she has become your mission. And while that may sound romantic in movies, in real life, it kills attraction. Because the feminine does not want to be your entire purpose. She wants to join a man who already has purpose. She wants to step into a world that's already in motion. She wants to orbit around your fire, not replace it. When you put your mission first, you communicate something powerful. I am a man on a path, with or without you. That energy is magnetic. It draws her in. It makes her proud to walk beside you instead of smothered by your dependence. So ask yourself, what's your mission? What are you building? Does your daily life reflect it? Because the man who wakes up with purpose doesn't have to chase women. Women feel pulled into his direction. The no-fixing rule, holding space, not repairing. Here's one almost every caring man gets wrong, trying to fix her emotions. She's upset, she's venting, she's spiraling, and instantly you shift into problem-solving mode. You say things like, don't worry about it, it's not that big of a deal. Here's what you should do. Your intention is good, but what she hears is, he doesn't trust my feelings. He wants to fix me instead of feel me. A grounded man doesn't scramble to repair her. He doesn't minimize her emotions or rush her to be okay. He simply stays present. He breathes. He listens. He lets her move through the storm while he remains unshaken. That presence is far more healing than any advice, because when she realizes you won't abandon her in her chaos, you become her anchor. Not because you solved her problems, but because you didn't flinch from them. Remember this. She doesn't need the right words from you. She needs the right presence. The mystery principle. Protecting your story. Here's something no one talks about. Attraction thrives on mystery. In our hyper-connected world, most men overshare far too quickly. By the third date, they've unpacked childhood traumas, financial struggles, and every past relationship detail as if they're in a therapy session. But here's the problem. When you reveal everything too soon, you remove all intrigue. And mystery is magnetic. The masculine doesn't hand over every chapter of its story immediately. It reveals itself slowly, intentionally. It lets her lean in. It lets her wonder. This isn't about being secretive or deceptive. It's about pacing your depth. Because when a woman has to earn your story, piece by piece, she feels honored, not entitled. And that sense of gradual unfolding, it's intoxicating. The circle of standards, who you allow, in your boundaries aren't just about how you treat women. They're about the standards you set for your entire circle. Look around at your friends, your colleagues, the people you let influence you. Do they uplift you, or do they drain you? Because every person you allow into your space teaches her something about your self-respect. If you surround yourself with chaos, with gossip, with negativity, she feels it. But if your circle reflects discipline, purpose, and respect, she knows instantly that stepping into your life requires rising to that standard. Attraction isn't just about one-on-one dynamics. It's about the ecosystem you build, and a man with a strong circle silently communicates. I protect my energy. I don't let just anyone close. If you're here, it's because you've earned it. That energy is rare, and rare is irresistible, the growth imperative, never stagnant. Here's a truth that separates the unforgettable from the forgettable. A man who stops growing, stops attracting. Stagnation is death to polarity. If you're the same man 6 months from now, living on autopilot, repeating the same routines. She feels it. The energy goes flat. But when you commit to growth, physically, mentally, spiritually, you radiate momentum. You communicate that life with you will never be static, that every day is an unfolding journey. And that's not just attractive. That's intoxicating. Remember, women are drawn to men who are going somewhere, not men who are standing still. What your boundaries say. About you, every boundary you hold sends a silent message. It says, I know who I am. I trust my path. And I'm not afraid to lose what doesn't align with it. That kind of clarity is rare. And because it's rare, it's unforgettable. Women may never articulate this out loud, but deep down they feel it. If he respects himself this much, maybe I'll rise to be better around him too. And that's the real magic of masculine boundaries. They don't just attract women. They elevate the entire dynamic. So now I want to hear from you. Which of these boundaries hit the hardest for you? Which one are you going to implement starting today? Drop your answer in the comments below. And if this video shifted your perspective, even just a little, give it a like, subscribe to Silent Secrets, and tap the bell icon so you never miss a new insight that can transform your relationships and your life. Until next time, remember, set the standard, protect your frame, and own the moment.